Nancy Guthrie, 84, vanished suddenly from her Tucson home, leaving a trail of unanswered questions. To the public, she was a devoted mother, grandmother, and widow who had built a life of quiet stability after her husband Charles died in 1989. But beneath the surface, Nancy had been living a secret life for decades, one that even her closest family members, including her daughter Savannah, had never suspected. When a mysterious package arrived at the Guthrie household just days after her disappearance, it became the key to uncovering a hidden narrative that spanned 30 years of secrecy, passion, and dual identities. The matriarch's public life. Nancy Guthrie was admired in Tucson for her resilience and devotion. After losing her husband at 47, she raised 3 teenagers with strength and grace, juggling part-time bookkeeping, volunteer work at her church, and household responsibilities. Friends recall a woman who radiated calm and kindness, whose home was a sanctuary amid the rugged Catalina foothills. Savannah often credited her mother's unflinching determination for shaping her own career. To outsiders, Nancy embodied the perfect widow, steady, reliable, and unwavering. But even the most solid facades have cracks, and Nancy's began to reveal themselves only when a single photograph disrupted decades of perception and pointed to a life entirely unknown. The mysterious package. On February 6, 2026, an unmarked envelope arrived at Savannah's New York doorstep. Inside was a faded photograph of a young Nancy, standing with an unfamiliar man outside a Santa Fe cafe. The back held a cryptic note: "She deserved more than secrets. Ask about Elena." Savannah shared it with her siblings during a frantic video call. Questions tumbled. Who was the man? Who was Elena? The photo, dated 1992, 3 years after Charles's death, suggested that Nancy's life in Tucson was only part of the story. It was the first tangible hint of a parallel existence she had maintained for decades. A hidden life in Santa Fe. Nancy's secret began in 1991 during a solo church retreat in Santa Fe. Grieving her husband, she met Victor Ramirez, a 45-year-old artist and gallery owner from Mexico City. Victor, widowed and free-spirited, offered a life Nancy had never experienced. Artistic, passionate, and unencumbered by duty. Their initial friendship evolved into a deep connection, though Nancy returned to Tucson, burying the affair to protect her family. Over the years, she traveled frequently to Santa Fe under innocuous excuses, creating a second identity that allowed her to experience freedom, joy, and intimacy, parts of herself she had suppressed for decades. Creating Elena, a parallel identity. Victor nicknamed Nancy Elena, after a character in a Mexican novel, reflecting the adventurous, expressive woman she became in Santa Fe. Under this alias, Nancy helped Victor run his gallery, occasionally exhibiting her own paintings, something she never did in Tucson. She opened a small bank account under the Elena name, funneling minor amounts from her bookkeeping job to support the gallery. Elena was unrestrained, laughing loudly, debating ideas, and dancing at fiestas. Nancy managed this secret life meticulously, balancing Tucson's responsibilities with her artistic and emotional freedom in New Mexico, hiding her double life even from her children, balancing motherhood and freedom. For years, Nancy's compartmentalization was seamless. Tucson Nancy, baked, called Savannah with advice, and maintained her reputation as the steadfast widow. Santa Fe Elena curated gallery shows, helped local artists, and immersed herself in a circle of creatives. She remained careful not to leave traces linking the two worlds. Different clothing, hairstyles, and behavior marked her divergence. Victor recalled how they celebrated small freedoms together, but Nancy never considered abandoning her children. The dual life offered her escape and self-expression, but the tension grew heavier over time, quietly affecting her health and emotional state, especially as the years of secrecy piled on. Decades of hidden routine. By the early 2000s, Nancy spent longer stretches in Santa Fe as Savannah's journalism career in Washington, D.C., and her other children's growing independence afforded her freedom. Elena managed gallery finances, organized events, and quietly contributed to the art community. Locals admired her wit and elegance, never suspecting her true identity. Letters between Nancy and Victor, preserved in a locked box under her Tucson bed, revealed her internal struggle. Love for her children and yearning for self-expression coexisted uneasily. Each weekend away, each secret deposit or check written to support Victor's gallery, underscored her extraordinary dedication to living both lives fully yet invisibly. Strains and cracks in the facade. Over time, the emotional weight of secrecy began to manifest. Victor noted that Nancy's trips became shorter and her mood more anxious, particularly in the 2000s. She confided her guilt to him but feared shattering her children's perception of her. The pandemic heightened her isolation, trapping her in Tucson and intensifying the pressure of her divided life. She resorted to encrypted communications and secret devices to maintain contact with Victor. By January 2026, she appeared distracted, mentioning feelings of being watched in Tucson, possibly a sign that someone had discovered her double life, threatening both her freedom and safety. Financial irregularities and possible blackmail. Investigators uncovered unusual transactions in Nancy's finances, including one $5,000 transfer in December 2025 to an unknown account in Mexico. While Victor claimed ignorance, authorities suspect blackmail, possibly by someone who had learned of Elena's existence. Combined with the disappearance of the locked box of letters, these irregularities suggest the intruder sought proof of her secret. The FBI has interviewed Victor and recanvassed Tucson and Santa Fe, tracing leads from neighbors, gallery associates, and unusual financial movements. The evidence points to a deeply personal motive rather than robbery, placing Nancy's secret and safety in jeopardy. The family's reaction. On February 9, 2026, the FBI shared Victor's statements with the Guthrie family. Savannah's composure broke for the first time, revealing the emotional toll of learning about Elena. Annie clutched old photos, shocked by decades of unknown retreats and activities, while Cam processed the enormity of their mother's dual existence. Savannah later reflected privately, Nancy's perfectionism and stoicism had always shielded them from her vulnerabilities. Her secret life, though shocking, revealed a woman striving for self-expression alongside unyielding maternal devotion. The revelation has shifted the family's perception from awe to a complex mixture of admiration, confusion, and grief. Public and local reaction. The discovery of Elena has captivated fans and locals alike. Victor's gallery became a site of public fascination, with visitors recounting Elena's generosity and quiet influence on the Santa Fe art community. Social media erupted with theories of secret lovers, blackmail, and hidden rivalries, while friends emphasized Nancy's right to privacy and peace. Public fascination mirrors the intense emotional stakes for the Guthries. Nancy's disappearance is no longer just a missing person case, but a story of identity, rebellion, and the delicate balance between duty and personal freedom. Both Tucson and Santa Fe remember her differently, reflecting the duality of her life. Investigation-focused authorities are pursuing multiple leads. The mysterious Mexico transfer, potential blackmailers, and witnesses who spotted suspicious activity near Nancy's Tucson home are all under investigation. Agents are retracing her Santa Fe trips, interviewing gallery associates, and canvassing neighbors. Every detail, from letters to financial records to eyewitness accounts, helps reconstruct the complexity of Nancy's life as both a devoted mother and Elena, the artist and partner. The FBI emphasizes that Nancy's disappearance is likely linked to someone aware of her secrets, suggesting a calculated attempt to exploit decades of hidden activity. Legacy and reflection. Nancy Guthrie's life embodies duality, a devoted mother in Tucson and a free-spirited artist in Santa Fe. Her story challenges assumptions about the boundaries of duty, identity, and personal fulfillment. Even in absence, she leaves lessons about resilience, secrecy, and the pursuit of self in the face of societal and familial expectations. Her children, while grappling with shock and betrayal, also gain insight into the sacrifices and choices their mother made. Elena, as a symbol of hidden courage, reminds us that individuals can hold multitudes, even if it comes at a personal cost. Conclusion. The vanishing of Nancy Guthrie. Nancy's disappearance remains unresolved, with questions about blackmail, rivals, and potential threats still open. Her decades-long secret life offers context but no easy answers. Tucson remembers a steadfast matriarch. Santa Fe remembers Elena, the quiet muse and partner. Both are true. The investigation continues, unraveling the complex layers of a woman who lived fully, secretly, and courageously. Her story is a testament to the tension between familial duty and personal freedom, leaving her family, friends, and the public grappling with admiration, grief, and the mystery of a life lived in shadows and light.